Hey there guys, Coach Julien here. In this video I'm going to talk to you about European ETFs for Canadians. If you're looking to diversify your portfolio and not just hold American, like North American investments, I've spotted a few ETFs that you should take a look at. In this video I'm going to cover each one of them and I'm going to explain to you why I chose these ETFs, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Julien Regoli, CPA, CMA, your finance coach. My channel has three main topics. One is about saving money, two is about investing money, and three, it's about thinking about money. If this is the kind of topic that interests you, then subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button. You'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. Thanks in advance for watching. So for those of you who are looking to diversify your portfolio, not just hold North American investments, you might want to take a look at certain ETFs that give you some European or Asian opportunities. In this video, I'm going to talk about European ETFs. So the first one here is called ZWP.to. All of these ETFs, by the way, are available in Canadian dollars. In fact, everything that has the .to extension, if you wish, are in Canadian dollars. So these are ETFs available for Canadians in Canadian dollars. This one is called the BMO European High Dividend Covered Call. This ETF seeks to provide exposure to the performance of a portfolio of dividend-paying European companies. Has an expense ratio of 0.65. It has total assets under management of a little shy of $1 billion. The reason why I picked this one, it has a really high dividend yield. So for anyone that is interested in receiving a nice dividend every month, this is the kind of ETF that you might be interested in. So 6.88% annual dividend yield, and it pays the dividend monthly. You can see that it's in majority in stocks, and you can see that it's really well diversified. The highest weighting position is in Volkswagen at 4.38%, so that means it's very well diversified. The second one is called XEU.to. It's an iShares MSCI European. This one provides long-term capital growth, replicates the performance of an index called the MSCI Europe Investable Market Index. The expense ratio here is a little lower, 0.28%. Dividend though is less, so 2.29 versus the other one that we saw was at almost 7%. The lower this number of total assets under management, chances are the less liquid it is. So if you're going to get into this kind of investment, so a low number of assets under management, ideally put in your price, because when an ETF or a stock is not that liquid, you don't want to be paying a crazy amount of money. So make sure that you put price limit on that when you go in. This one also has the majority of the investments are in stocks, a little bit of cash, and you can see that here it's even more diversified than the one that we saw before. The highest weighting stock is Nestle at 2.77%, so really well diversified ETF. So the next one is the same one as we just saw. It follows the MSCI Europe Index, so it's XEH.to. This one is hedged for the Canadian dollar. So basically what that means is that there is no exposure to euro to Canadian dollar fluctuations. Okay, so the next one is BMO MSCI Europe High Quality Hedged to Canadian Dollar ETF, and seeks to replicate an index called the MSCI Europe Quality. So the expense ratio here is 0.4, and by the way, this one is hedged to the Canadian dollar. So like the other one, you're going to get the pure performance of the stocks. You can see that it has a dividend yield of 1.75%, expense ratio of 0.4%, total assets under management under $400 million. So again here, be careful when you buy, make sure you put a price limit when you go in, and when you sell, put in a price limit as well. The majority of its investments are in stocks, a little bit of cash, and as you can see that the weighting is a little higher than the other two that we just went through, and is a little different. So before we had 2 to 3% in Nestle, here Nestle is at 4.6%, and you can see that the highest weighted investment dividend is at 6.81. So you can see that it's not as diversified as the other one. So what I like to do is compare them all and see how they've performed over the last few months and a few years. If we look at the last 6 months, ZEQ is the top performing one, followed by XEH. So it seems like the hedged ETFs are the top performing ones. ZWP, remember this is the one that distributes dividends of almost 7%, and that's probably why it's not up there with the others. It's just because it distributes almost 7% of cash dividends every month, whereas the other ones don't. Over 3 years, you can see that the high quality European index is definitely superior. Let's, for fun, compare all this to the S&P 500. So S&P 500 over the last, let's compare that. So over the last year, the S&P 500 has done better than the European market, and over the last 3 years also. So something that I like to do is, to look at pre-lockdown what the performances of these have been. So let me just take a look at this. I'll go all the way to just before the lockdown. So February 21, things were still okay. Pre-lockdown, you could see that ZEQ was even better than the S&P 500. It's interesting to see that, because that means that the S&P 500 is maybe overbought, and maybe there's still some upside to ZEQ. So there you have it, folks. Hope you found the video useful. If you did, hit the like button. That's much appreciated. If you want to book a free one-on-one with me, you can do so. There's a link in the description of the video below, a link to my Calendly. Take advantage of it. It's free for a limited time. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the description of the video. Don't forget to subscribe, because I've got more videos coming, more ETF recommendations, more stocks. And I'm going to cover some more international ETFs. So stay tuned, subscribe, and hit that bell button. You'll be notified whenever I upload new content. Thanks for watching today, folks, and we'll see you real soon.